Hello, my name's Andy Paramore and this is Andy's Cornish Creations. In this episode I'm going to be turning this log into a dog. Starting off with the piece of wood between centres, and I've got my 1 1/4 inch roughing gouge and I'm just turning it to round. This is running at 3 times speed. And it'll be doing this most of the way through the video, just to keep the length of the video down a bit. Now I've got it's an old mortise chisel, and I'm just going to create a tenon on one end. And this is a 1/2 inch skew to create a dovetail on that tenon so that it fits nicely into the jaws. And here, a different view, I've turned the piece around and fitted it into the jaws, into the chuck. And now I'm just creating a bit of clearance at one end so that when I start to shape it, I've got a bit of room to go around and I'm not getting too close to that chuck. And there I'm using it's a 1/4 inch tenon mortise chisel. Now I've got my 3/8, about 10mm spindle gouge, and I'm just starting to create the shape of the body of the dog. The size of the body is 3.5 inches tall or long by 2 3/4 inches at its widest point. And it does have a 10mm tenon or dowel at the top of it to fit into the head, and that's additional to the 3.5 inches. Basically the shape of this is pretty much an onion shape, and this shape seems to work pretty well. This is my negative rake 1 inch round scraper, and my 1 inch skew there, and they're both used to take out the sort of peaks and troughs from the spindle gouge. And here I'm coming with the mortise chisel just to get it down roughly, and the little spanner which is sharpened on the tip, and that's a 10mm spanner which gives me a 10mm dowel or tenon, and it's pretty accurate, so I know that when I drill a 10mm hole in the head, that dowel's going to fit pretty well into it. Here, coming in and just deciding how wide the base is going to be, and just make a start on it before I start sanding. Start off at 80 grit and work down to 400 grit. And the wood's a little bit plain, and I wanted the dog to be a little bit darker in colour, so I added some wood dye. I think this is Colron wood dye, but basically any stain or dye would would work. I actually decide that it's a little bit orange later on. I did put a bit of a sort of a darker brown on top of that, and you can see there it's just turned a little bit more of a brown colour. Now I'm applying abrasive paste, turning the speed up a bit. Remove any excess paste with a clean paper towel, and then here I'm applying some microcrystalline wax, just so that when it's handled you don't get fingerprints and things on it. And then buffing it up with a paper towel. And here I'm using a narrow parting tool just to part it off. And that's the body done. Nice and easy. Here I'm working on the head. I've already taken the piece of log down to round. I'm just looking at it now to work out roughly what size I want it to be. I'm not working from any measurements, so I'm just sort of winging it. Again, I'm using the 3/8 spindle gouge. So the shape I'm going for is basically it's a peanut shape, and it's the head is 3 inches long. The back of the head is 1.25 inches in diameter, and the snout end is 1.5 inches in diameter. The idea for this dog, I didn't come up with the idea. I saw a video from Steve, the Hampshire Woodturner. So if you'd like to go and check out his channel and perhaps watch the video where he creates quite a similar dog himself, and it's a really nice one. So check that out. I'll put a link in the description for you to find him if you don't already watch. I'm just marking here where the hole needs to be. I like to drill the hole before I do the sanding, so that I finish it with a cleaner edges around the hole, because as you see there, I get a lot of sort of tear out from the drill, and if you can do the hole before you sand, you can clean off a lot of that tear out. Although actually later on I do put a little flat there, so that the neck of the body can sit against it nice and tight. Here I'm using the 1/2 inch skew chisel just to part off the end, as it leaves a much neater, smoother finish than using a parting tool there. And then again I'll sand from 80 grit up to 400. I'm applying the wood stain. I've gone for a sort of a brown colour this time. And here's the abrasive paste. I always apply it at a low speed so I don't flick the paste all over the place, and then turn the speed up, get a nice shine, and then wipe off the excess with a clean cloth or a paper towel. Here goes the microcrystalline wax. And again, give it a little polish. And then part it off with the 1/2 inch skew, and there's very little finishing off needs to be done when it's parted off with that. Just a quick rub on the sandpaper. Now I'm drilling out 2 eyes, holes for the ears, and 1 for the nose. This is a scrap piece of, I think it's sapele. It's the one that looks a bit like mahogany anyway. It's a sort of a browny red wood. And with this I'm going to make the eyes and the nose. I'm not going to be putting any plastic eyes on with this one. I'm going for a wooden ones. So just getting it to round, getting the size that I need, and basically the nose and the eyes are around about 3/8 of an inch in diameter, and I think the nose is slightly larger than the eyes, but there's very little. Now I'm creating a little dowel at the bottom, getting it down roughly to size with the mortise chisel. Oh, I missed a bit of footage there. I think this is one of the eyes. So same process. And this is again one of the little spanners. It's a 5mm spanner, and the holes that are drilled in the head were 5mm as well. Again, I'm sanding it down. This doesn't really need much sanding because it's a nice hard wood, so more or less straight onto the 400 grit. Some abrasive paste, and that took such a nice shine that I didn't bother adding anything else. And then the skew chisel just to part it off. And that's, there you go, that's one of the eyes in. It's always a nice fit with the doing it with the spanner. Here I've cut out some ears, some quite long ears, out of some leather, and I've put a bit of super glue or CA glue onto the inside, and I'm rolling it to form a piece that I can put into the hole of the in the head, just to hold the ear in place. A bit of glue into the holes. The eyes and nose have already been glued in. Oh, thank you, Don, for the coffee. Much appreciated. And that slips in really nicely. One of the ears, it could do with a bit of an iron. It was creased, and it just it doesn't hang very well. But it's just because it was creased in the packet, and it'll soon flop down like the other one. You can see there where I put the little flat on the head. so that the neck sits against it nicely. And just glue those together, and a bit of activator, and that's it basically.
Okay, so there we have it. One log to dog. Yeah, cute little guy. Quite simple. 2 pieces of wood really. One shape of a pear, and another one the shape of a peanut. Could call it peanut. I don't think that's been done before. Yeah, got some little wooden eyes, a little wooden nose. I don't know what kind of wood it is. It was an old garden stake, a hardwood stake, cut up into bits. The other wood, I think I had a bit of willow, and I'm not sure what that one is. If I was to do it again, I'd probably do it in a nicer piece of wood, but I wanted to stick with the log theme, and that's all I got. So, but anyway, it's turned out quite nice. Yeah. Also, what I could have used was a piece of dogwood. See what I did there? But that would have been barking mad. Which is another thing. I could have left a bit of bark on, but we took all the bark out, so he's silent. Oh well. So anyway, if you've made it this far, especially through those last jokes, well done, and thanks for sticking with the video right to the end. If you have stuck to the end, you're probably already a subscriber, so thank you to all my subscribers. It's coming along really well. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. It's just hit the subscribe button wherever it is, somewhere there or there, and ring the little notification bell, and that lets you know when I upload another video, and also give it that thumbs up and share and all those good things. And please do leave a comment. I'm working my way through the comments again, and trying to answer them all. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. You probably heard in the middle of the video there a bit of rain there. It's cleared up now. So from a dry Cornwall, this is Andy's Cornish Creations. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.